The opinions expressed in this television show is solely that of the person who expressed them and not the opinion of the Emily Pearl Show, its sponsors, or affiliates. Although the Emily Pearl Show may take stances on individual shows, the show itself remains an entertainment platform. Free thought is a philosophy and not a policy.
Okay, we heard you. We heard you. Okay, we heard you. Studio is crazy this afternoon, and I'm still trying to get the watch party showed. I tell you the truth, they just keep on messing with my shows. Y'all know how that is because um I'm a big mouth. hmm I'm trying to get a watch party started and they won't let me. They keep saying that this is my story and this is not my story. This is my show. And when you post it as my story, it will not share, uh, uh, on your line for you to do a watch party. I am so sick of having to deal with these mishaps or whatever they want to call them every time I get ready to broadcast and do a watch party. hmm Yeah, but you know me, it's not going to stop me. It just keeps saying this. So where's my live post? Okay, I got something for you. Okay, no, this is not my story, and I'm fixing to show you that it's not my story. So I have to start my watch party on my. hmm Okay, that's okay. Let me get back. Let me get back to my show. Let me get back to my show. There's ain't no comments here because it's Okay, never mind. I'm going to my show page, and I'm going to do this from my desktop since it will not let me do it on my phone. Okay, can everybody hear me? I'll check that in just a minute. Okay, I see I've got somebody in the studio. Thanks so much for watching. Hi, Sandra. Welcome. I'm going to have to share this from my show page so I can get my watch party started because people like to tune into the shows from the watch party. And they are not letting me do this the way I'm supposed to be able to do it. Okay, we say so. I see we got 10 people listening already. Not necessarily into the um, not in the comment column necessarily, but you guys are there. So I am going to share this from my desktop, copy the link. Then I'm going to go to my page and try to do this so I can get my watch party started. Will y'all bear with me just for a minute? I know y'all will because a lot of people like to do the watch party. Come in. I want to make sure that everybody can hear the show, okay? Because it's not fair. It's live now. Okay, I'm doing my desktop. It's not fair to not be able to have the watch party. Okay, there we go. Let's see. I don't know what's up with my phone, but what I will do is I'll make sure that I go in there and delete all my stuff out of my phone so that I can get my watch party started. Mm-hmm. Let me mute this. Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I'm watching a live video. I know. Okay, so where's the share button on here? Okay, and the computer is so slow, and that's because it's the middle of the day. But y'all know I'm not gonna give up. Let me get this started. It's just not moving stuff fast enough for me. But I'm gonna be patient, and I thank y'all for your patience because the shows are for y'all, and for I don't know why everything is moving so slow. It can't be that much traffic on Facebook, is it really? Now, see, I've got this big old button in the way that won't let me find the share. Okay, so, okay, I think that's it. Okay, hold on. It's just that it's moving slow, y'all. It's not me. It is this system. Okay, it's on my timeline, so maybe I could just go in and close this out now. Let me just go in from my phone now to my timeline. Look, I know y'all ready to hear what's going on in the world today, Thunderbirds, but just be patient with me for a while, because I'm gonna give y'all the latest updates of what we heard. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna start the watch party from here. There we go. Okay. Because that desktop was just moving slow. I don't know what's up. Live now. Yeah, so we have a lot of people that come in for the watch party because that runs constantly on their line. Everyone and welcome. Ooh, oh, that was something else trying to get done today. Woohoo! Okay, so, well, y'all know about the president being having the coronavirus and everything and taking all them various and different types of treatments and medications. And they say he's just been tweeting like crazy. One reporter reported this morning, well, one doctor, she had a doctor on her guest on their show. I think it was the Today Show. They had a doctor on there that said sometimes this one form of this medication that he is taking can give a person the sense of euphoria, which means, kind of high. Woo! So maybe that's what's going on with all this tweet, 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 tweet. But what I want to talk to you all about, first of all, about the stimulus check is this. And this report is from MSN and MSNBC. And it talks about how he has tried to block, well, in fact, he did say, they updated it since I got it this morning. Okay, hold on. Now I got to find it again. But basically what he said is that he was going to, he want the Senate to stop all negotiations immediately for the stimulus for the people. Yeah. And his reason, he says, is because he wants to wait till after the election, because when he wins, then he will put together a whole really wonderful stimulus package for the people. So, the problem with that is that Mnuchin and Nancy, Speaker of the House, was about to get to a minimum agreement so that the stimulus could go out, right? Well, yesterday and last night or whatever, he decided that he wanted to do this. He counseled it, told the Senate stop negotiation. And the right hand of the king, of course, Senate Leader McDonald, hey, Cookie, Senate Leader McDonald says that he's going to follow, of course, the president's instructions, and all negotiations will stop immediately. Yeah. It's pitiful when you can't stand up to somebody, because when you won't stand for anything, McDonald, that means that you fall for anything, along with the rest of them. So, and on the NBC News now, there was another talk roundtable discussion about his latest actions and tweets that he's putting out there, that says that he could be having some side effects up here from all of that rush dosage of coronavirus treatments that he received. Well, we can only go by what we see him do and say. Could it be true as to why he's having all of these unrational decisions? Donald, I know you are sick. I know you are sick with this virus, but Donald, you got really sick. I mean, I'm no doctor, but I can only go by what you are doing and saying now. Do you really think, let me just talk to you rationally now, Donald. Do you really think that canceling a negotiation that was about to take place for people to get some money to pay for food, to pay for shelter, to pay for medicine, to pay for the things that they need during this national and world crisis. Do you really think that these people are going to vote for you? Hmm. Do you really think that? Now, I read one of the tweets, but then I realized that it was a parody. There's somebody that's got a parody person named Donald Trump. That's not him. Writing some stupid, really stupid stuff. So if you make sure that if you read the if you want to read what Donald Trump is tweeting, make sure you go to POTUS, POTUS Donald Trump, okay? The rest of those people out there are just imitators, okay? But um that's what I read when I was setting up the studio this morning. So I'm refreshing my page now so that I can see if they still have that on here. But I read it. I read it for myself. You know, it's not. I heard it on the news, but I also double check. See, when I hear stuff on the news, I have to double check. I read it myself. Now, this is from ABC News, and this is the response of the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. She said, Trump made a terrible mistake calling for stop to stimulus talks. This was reported 2 hours ago by ABC. It says, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said Wednesday that President Trump is rebounding from the terrible mistake of calling off negotiations on a stimulus package to address the coronavirus pandemic. In a pair of late night tweets, Trump changed course on negotiating coronavirus relief that he had earlier announced he was calling off until after the election. It's hard to see any clear sane, S-A-N-E, meaning path on what he's doing. This is Nancy Pelosi talking. But the fact is, he saw the political downside of his statement of walking away from the negotiations. He's rebounding from a terrible mistake he made yesterday. And the Republicans in Congress are going down the drain with him on that. Oh, she said that on The View this morning. Okay. She said, but I will say this. Let me click continue reading. She says, but I will say this. It is really important for us to come to this agreement. When the president just popped off and made that announcement without even informing us, talking about the Democrats, that this was the case, he insulted the Constitution of the United States, she said. Pelosi also called the White House the most dangerous place in the country after the latest coronavirus outbreak has hit several of Trump's closest advisors. That's true. It is also being reported as of this morning that 27 people that have been around him in the past week or so has contracted the coronavirus. So Nancy says, I don't want to go anywhere near the White House. It's one of the most dangerous places in the country, Pelosi said. Pelosi repeated her suggestion made privately Tuesday that Trump's medications might be affecting his thinking. This is her talking. I said yesterday to my colleagues, I said there are those who say that the steroids had an impact on people's thinking. I don't know, but there are those health care providers who say that, Pelosi said. Also, if you have the coronavirus, it has an impact as well. So the combination is something that should be viewed. Still, Pelosi said the president's erratic behavior is true to his form. This is her talking. They're quoting her, of course. I think it's true to form. I think that the president has always has erratic behavior. Right now, it's very, very dangerous because he knows the danger of the virus, but he's in denial, as he was right from the start. Denial, delay, distortion, Pelosi said. But again, this is her continuing to speak, and they're quoting her. But again, there are enablers around the president who really should know better, who really should know better, Pelosi added. She also called for the president's advisors to stage an intervention. An intervention means somebody please go in there and do something about him. Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin spoke on the phone Wednesday morning about aid for the alien airline industry just one day after Trump instructed his team to start negotiations on a stimulus package with Democrats. The House attempted to pass a bill last week that would extend the payroll support program for airline workers via unanimous consent. But Republicans blocked that bill because it came to the floor unannounced and with a lack of agreement among Republican leadership. So we all know it says continues on talk about the airlines furloughed over 30,000 employees last week, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so while this concern about the airlines, why not the concern for the people first? And see, I have a problem with that, even with the Republicans and the Democrats talking about some airlines. What about us? What about the people first? See, that's what I'm saying. It does. I think all of them are on medication. That's it. I mean, what can we say? I am so tired of all this waggery. Raggery. That's an old timey word. I'm so tired of all this waggery. All they do is wag, 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 wag their tongues. And they don't do anything. Hey, Delfred, please share. Welcome, sir. And they don't do anything. I call it waggery. That's all they do is wag their tongues. Wag, 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 wag. We are so tired of that. And people, I'm going to tell you something. People are so anxious to get to the polls. Because they not only want to vote out President Trump, they want to vote out all of these Republicans too. So, see, Republican senators, let me just say this to you. Since you don't have the guts to stand up to the president, the king, whatever y'all call him, because y'all seem to be so scared of him. I don't know what it is. But since you guys don't want to stand up to him, be ready to pack your bags in January. Just go ahead and start packing up now, because I'm going to tell you something. A change is about to come. I know a change's going to come. You better get you, go online and listen to Sam Cooke. A change is going to come because it is fixing to come. And Donald, know he's losing. That's the reason why he's so erratic. He know he's losing and he know he's not going to win. But here comes the problem, y'all. Here comes the problem. Even after the election day, it's going to take several weeks for all of the votes to be counted. Mhm. Now, the presidential inauguration of the new or incumbent president is supposed to take place on January 20th. In other words, if the incumbent president does not win the election on January the 20th, he's supposed to march out, get in the helicopter, and fly away. Fly away. Uh-huh. But because of this period of crisis, national crisis with the coronavirus that we are going through, the votes are not going to be counted as fast as they are normally counted. So it might be January 19th even before we know who actually won. Now, see, that's a serious problem, and it's going to be a serious problem for everybody. Believe me, for everybody. Folks going to be cutting up sideways. But that the real threat is that the current president gets to still sit there in the White House and write policy and go about business as usual. Yeah. Mhm. See, when we vote on election day, November 2nd, that doesn't stop the incumbent president from signing all kinds of executive orders and changing policies and demanding this and destroying this and doing whatever they want to do. It doesn't stop them. On November the 3rd, it doesn't stop. They can continue. He can continue to do business as usual. So, depending on his state of mind, the incumbent president could do a lot of damage to this country. I know what y'all saying. Isn't enough already been done? Some of you are saying, well, sure, but there's even more damage that could be done. We could be damaged as far as foreign relations. Because don't think that the Ayatollah and Putin are not sitting over there and thinking of ways that we are weak now. And where's Kim Jong Un? Kim Jong Un. Nobody has heard nothing. Kim Jong Un. Kim Jong Un said he ain't catching no coronavirus. He's been isolated away since February. And guess who else has been isolated away? Putin. Putin has not gone out anywhere. Putin has not had no events. So, even though these are our foreign enemies, so to speak, as far as politics are concerned, these leaders got sense enough to stay isolated. What does that say? I mean, when you compare, what does that say? It says a whole lot to me as far as who has the most sense compared to the one whose claims and has always been claiming and is still claiming that he is so smart. I mean, I'm just saying. Have y'all heard anything about Kim Jong Un? Kim Jong Un ain't not coming out. He hadn't been out since February. You don't even hear nothing about him in the news. Why? Because he's isolated in a bunker. Been isolated since February. You haven't really heard anything about Putin except he sent his card or telegraph wishing President Trump a speedy recovery. They haven't been nowhere. They ain't gone out, flouncing around. They have not even exposed their staff to them. They don't even want their staff around. You see what I'm saying? So who has the most sense? Who is smart? Hey, Barry. Hey, Stanley. So, I'm just saying, guys, seriously, who is the smartest leaders of the world? When it comes to this coronavirus. Yeah. Okay. Enough of that. The other thing is tonight, and I know y'all be watching, the debate will occur between Vice President Pence and um, the candidate for Vice President Kamala Harris. I will be watching. Mhm. Now, some of the Republicans are trying to make a mockery out of the fact that Kamala Harris requested that plexiglass be put around her in addition to the 12 feet, because they're going to separate them 12 feet apart now instead of the 6 feet that was used in the debate between President Donald Trump and candidate for President Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they tried to make a mockery of it. Say, well, if Kamala Harris wants to have plexiglass around her, go for it. Go for it. It sounds like to me, all of y'all should have had plexiglass around y'all, especially the 27 that's been diagnosed with coronavirus now from being around Donald. Mm, mm. So, yeah, plexiglass should be used. I don't blame Kamala Harris. She's to be commended for even going anywhere near Pence. Because let me tell y'all something about the science of and medical um, rules of this coronavirus. This virus can stay lie dormant into your body, in your body. This is called an incubation period. It can lie dormant for 14 days. Mm-hmm. In other words, it's building up, it's building up, it's building up. So yeah, you're going to get a negative reading when you do a rapid test. Oh, we're going to talk about the rapid test too that Trump talked about giving out to the people of the nation. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're going to show negative for those 14 days. But your system, if you've been around somebody with coronavirus, it's just building up in you. It's building up in you, and right now you are considered what they call asymptomatic, which means that you are transmitting. You are transmitting the coronavirus, even though your rapid test is reading negative. You are still contagious. You are in an asymptomatic dormant period, incubation period of 14 days. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I don't blame Kamala Harris because she has studied the medicine, the science of how this coronavirus is transmitted. I do not blame her because 12 feet away in a unwell ventilated space is a risk. It is a risk for her to be exposed to coronavirus if, in fact, Mike Pence could be in an incubation period. Mm-hmm. So I do not blame her at all. And I commend her for demanding one. And I really hope that they provide her with one tonight because she's considered a hero, in my opinion, to even go to the debate. Because they could have had this debate done virtually, but the Republicans refused. Mm-hmm. The Democrats were willing to do a virtual debate, but the Republicans refused. And what does that tell me? It tells me that none of them are concerned about the health of the people of the United States. As it's plain and simple, that is the bottom line. None of the Republicans are concerned about my health, your health, his health, her health, nobody's health that lives and breathes right now in the United States of America. And that's sad. That's sad. But if any of you have ever listened to me on my gospel show, where I deliver messages and the word of God that I received. I had told them, I told these politicians, as far as 3 weeks, 4 weeks back, that God was going to punish them for the behavior and the way that they have treated. They've chosen this choice to treat people, to mistreat people of the land. God holds y'all responsible, politicians. Yeah, the people elected you, but God is watching what you do. But y'all got the power, so y'all think y'all gods, but y'all are not gods. I don't know. I guess you see now that you're not, because if you're a god, you would not catch the coronavirus. You could be exposed to it every day, 24/7, and you would not catch it if you were a god. Okay? So, but anyway, I will be watching the debate tonight. And from watching politics, I know that Mike Pence seems to be a kind of laid back guy, kind of guy, slow talker. Yeah. Mm, mm. And I've noticed when Kamala was campaigning, um, she's an aggressive, candidate. Hmm. So what I'm going to be watching for tonight is I'm going to be watching for respect. Who's respecting who? Hmm. I'm going to be watching for true facts, and not made up stuff. I'm going to be watching for body. I'm going to definitely be watching body language. Ooh, I love to watch body language on the debate stage. You can tell a lot from body language. Even if you couldn't hear the people talking, you'd be able to tell a lot just by looking at the way that their body moves and their expressions on their faces. I can tell from the expressions on politicians' faces whether they are lying or telling the truth. I really can. Mm. And the obvious person, average citizen, the average layman can really, only if they want to. And see, I choose not to be influenced by either side. I watch both sides. I watch the Republicans and I watch the Democrats as well. Mm, mhm. Yeah. So anyway, in the polls, they're saying that Biden does have a substantial lead in the general election poll, but in some of the battlefield states, as they call it, battleground states like Florida and South Carolina, that they are neck and neck. Both of them have 45%. But the thing about battleground states, when they are close together like that, when the polls show that they are even, is that it does not take into account the number of votes that could come from independents, you see. Because an independent voter is one who can go to either side, might vote Republican, might vote Democrat. So when they give those polls like that, y'all always remember that it does not take into account for the independent voters. They are only getting those polls from Democratic voters and consigned or confessed or status wise Republicans, people who declare what party that they are, people that declare that they are Democrats, and people that declare that they are Republicans. But you see, the independents don't declare. And right now, the independents make up about 20%, 23% of the entire people of the United States. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. So those polls do not count for independent votes. Just like the last time, in 2016, when Donald Trump won the election, everybody was blown away But see, I knew that those polls were not accurate because it does not count the independent people. Why doesn't it count it? Because they don't know which way they're gonna vote. Because that's what independent means. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. So it seems like in 2016 that independent voters decided to give Donald Trump a chance because they knew him from the television show, his show that he had. What was the name of that show? Y'all know the name of it. Hey, 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson. Y'all know the name of that show. What was that show? I don't know because I didn't watch it. Excuse me. It's in Memphis, Tennessee. Our weather's changing. It's cool. My sinus has been bothering me. My sinus has been bothering me so bad, y'all can see my eyes are blue. Mm-hmm. But anywho, so they decided that they give the TV star a chance. He's rich and famous. Yeah, let's give him a chance. A businessman. Yeah, let's give him a chance. Even the senior citizens decided, yeah, let's give him a chance. Maybe he can do something. And his lame duck phrase was, well, what have you got to lose? Well, when people really thought about it and asked themselves that question, what you got to lose, they said, well, really, yeah, I guess, we give you a chance, because the problem was this. They would have voted for Obama, except Obama couldn't run anymore. 8 years, y'all, is the limit for any president. They cannot run. Then, unlike your mayors of your cities, they cannot serve for 12 years. They can, 8, it's cut off. It's cut off. The presidency of the United States is cut off at 8. And they need to do the Supreme Court the same way, as far as I'm concerned. They really do. The Supreme Court judges need to go with the president. When whoever voted them in, that's who they need to leave. If they voted, whoever voted them in is voted out, they need to leave with the one that voted them in. As far as I'm concerned, that's the way it should be. But anyhow, people would have voted for Obama, but they couldn't. Because what? Unfortunately, or fortunately for those who think so, his time was up. So a lot of them didn't like neither candidate. And that's why they would, decided to give him a chance. So therefore, the polls had Hillary in favor because it was based on what? Democrats. That meant that Democrats was going to stay Democratic. They wanted to keep the House, keep the Senate. So they were going by the polls of declared Democrats and Republicans. All right. But once again, and that's where it began, they did not, or could not count for the independent people. Could not. Because the independent people, I'm telling you something about independent voters. They will not tell you which way they're going to go. They will not. They will not tell you. Okay. So therefore, they cannot count independent voters in polls. So once again, we're going to be sitting on the edge of our seats, y'all, because because of what we're going through with this crisis and people's finances and people losing their houses and being evicted, a whole lot of other things. No health care. The independents are going to be the ones to determine this election. Believe me. The independent voters are going to be the ones who determine this election. Now, so both sides can brag about they got the most votes from they got the most support from the senior citizens, or they got the most support from Latinos, or they got the most support from police chiefs and law enforcement, or they got the most support from the military. They can brag about any of that, but it won't make a minute of a bit of difference on November the 2nd, because the independent voters once again, will be the ones to determine who wins the 2020 presidential election. Now, once they report all this and tell y'all after the results come in, and they start talking about the independent voters then, because they do have the statistics after the votes are counted, right? So when they tell you all this, you can say to yourselves, oh man, I already knew that, because Emily Pearls of Pearls Top Politics already told us that. Okay? Yeah. Y'all will already know. See, I'm giving y'all a heads up. Now, let me just switch gears over to the schools for just a minute. As y'all know, more schools and more colleges are reporting and having to close the schools because they were open too fast in the first place. I told them not to open the schools, but who listens to me in government? Nobody. But I told them not to open those schools. So now they've opened them, rushed to open the colleges and the schools, and now we got children sick. College students, they're saying now that coronavirus is most prevalent for transmission coming from people who are ages 18 through 34. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because they don't take it serious at that age. You know, all young people think that they are invincible, just like somebody else we knew that thought that they were. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But so anyhow, now they're having to close the colleges and they're having to close the schools. But you know, the Republicans are still pushing, open those schools, or you're not gonna get government funds. That's ridiculous, you know. So this is what I say to Republicans. Republicans, look, if you want the schools open, you can put a plexiglass booth around each student, because plexiglass is a very cheap fiber, and the frames that it fits in is very, very cheap. No child or no college student should have to go into a classroom without a plexiglass booth. And their mask, of course. And the teacher at her desk should have a great big old plexiglass thing around her. Now, that's the solution. If y'all want to push the people like that. But see, I told y'all a few minutes ago, the Republicans have shown to me that they don't care about y'all's health, y'all's safety, y'all's well-being. All they care about is the economy. By the way, stock market went crashed almost when Donald Trump said that stop negotiations, don't talk no more. All they care about is money. They don't care about you. They just care about money. They don't say whatever they need to say to make money. That's the only reason why he's trying to smooth over what he said about negotiations. That's the only reason why he's trying to smooth over, because stock market just went, it plummeted. So that should tell the Republicans something. The Republicans, that should tell you, look, people want to make money, and they cannot make money if the people of the land don't have money. It's as simple as that. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to add 1 + 1 = 2. But y'all need some help with y'all mathematics really bad. I don't know what schools y'all went to. I'm just saying, seriously. You know, there's a show that used to come on and say, are you smarter than a fifth grader? I'm going to ask that question. I put it to you. Republicans, are you smarter than a fifth grader? It doesn't appear that you are. Not from the people of the land's viewpoint. It does not appear that you are even as smart as a fifth grader. Look at me and read my lips. Okay. All right then. Hey, Juanita. Hey, Timothy. Welcome. Okay, and so I want to close with this, y'all. This is a personal thing that I'm going to share with y'all. You know, I told y'all I have dreams and visions, right? And when I dream about people that really are no a part of my life or a public figure, somebody that's really important, then I know that that dream is some type of uh, premonition. It's a dream vision that means something is coming, something is going to happen, something is about to occur, and that something can be something good or something bad. So last night I had this dream, and this dream was about Reverend Al Sharpton. Now y'all know I don't know Reverend Al Sharpton personally at all. So why does Reverend Al Sharpton appear in my dream? So when I wake up this morning, I realize that this dream means something. So to give you just a synopsis of what was going on in the dream is that, let me get my glasses on because I wrote it down. I keep records of my visions. I was working in some type of office, and whoever it was that I was working for asked me to get Reverend Al Sharpton on the phone, on the telephone. So I guess I must have been a clerk, secretary, assistant, or something like that. And in the dream, the first time, I was able to dial the number and get his office and transfer the call over to this person. I couldn't see who that person was. I didn't even know where I was in the stream. All I know was the office of some type. And then later on in the day, that same person asked me to get Al Sharpton back on the phone. Well, I went to look for the number and I couldn't find the number. And I know that I had the number, so I went to search on all of my files on the computer and I couldn't find the number. And so I was so slow that this person, whoever that was giving me the request, was getting impatient. And I said, well, I'm trying to find the number. I just had the number because I gave it to you, you talked to him. And I couldn't find the number for him the second time. Uh-huh. And then that part of the dream was over. It was gone. So I don't know whether this is for something good or for something bad. But I know this means that something is about to happen, and whatever this something is, the something that's about to occur, or something has happened that has not come out yet, and whatever this is, it concerns Reverend Al Sharpton. So what I can only do, because I have no control over dreams and visions, but what I can only do, and I cannot stop whatever it is that has already happened or whatever is about to occur, um, of what is going to happen. But I do pray. I can do that. I do pray that this is not something that will hinder or harm Reverend Al Sharpton in any kind of way. I can do that. That's all I can do is pray that this is not something bad, but instead that is something very, very good for Reverend Al Sharpton. All right. Okay, I thank y'all for tuning in. And as always, remember that free thought is a philosophy. It is not a policy. Nobody can tell you or demand that you think this or that you think that. Free thought up here is yours. And they can make all the policies that they want, but they cannot take away your thoughts. That's free. Okay. And the Constitution of the United States guarantees you what? First Amendment, free speech. I got free speech. I can say what I want to say. I can talk about what I want to talk about. Even if they erase it, take it off the social media platforms, I'm still saying it. I can still say it. It may not be May not stay there, because they control their platforms, but I can still think it and say it. All right. All right. Thanks, y'all. And remember, everything in your life has something to do with politics. And like I said, I used to say, so get involved in politics, but I don't say that. I changed that last week. So what I'm going to say is just make sure you keep a steadfast attention to politics. How about that? Thank y'all so much for joining in, and I will see y'all next week. And I'm doing them in the daytime now because it seems that every time that Wednesday comes, something good about politics is coming on at nighttime at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, right? So that's been why I pop up in the midday or midweek politics. So, but I'll try to always keep y'all posted, let y'all know. And those of you, my top fans like Sandra, Tim, David, hey, Juanita, Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, Barry, Stanley, Delphi, and more of you out there that are not in the comment column. And all I do is wave at y'all, and thank y'all for coming in. I hope y'all don't mind, and because I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And I also would appreciate it if you share the show to somebody that you know that likes politics so they can get it raw. Because the pearls is not going to clean it up, make it nice. Now, see, the reporters have to do that. I don't. I don't. I'm going to give it to you just like it with TIT is like T used to say. I'm going to give it to you raw. TIT is. All right. All right, y'all. If the Lord say the same, like I said, I'll see y'all again next Wednesday. Bye-bye.